Let's get this going. IHC Organic. IHC Organic. IHC Organic. We're going to drop another, what is this, audio. Make sure I get the voice, gotta get the voice right before we start communicating and talking. Got a whole bunch of shit in front of me. We are going to talk today. Let me see. I have some stuff I wrote and I don't know where I put it. How are you all doing today, this morning, this afternoon, this evening? You are on the IT Organic Experience, and we're going to talk a little bit about the Emperor of Haiti, who was Jean-Jacques Dessalines, who was the first emperor. If Dessalines was not killed and assassinated on October 17, 1806, if he wasn't killed, I guess the empire would have survived, right? It would have just continued. We would have been maybe like the way you see Great Britain is over there in Europe. Like we would have been a country in the region, but it wasn't like it's not a republic. It's not like, you know what I'm saying? It would have been maybe a prime minister that represents, the people and you know the emperor, empress, stuff like that. Some people say it's better like this, Haiti right now is a republic, even though it the republic that we have in the country is backed by, I would say, the ideology of the same enemies that we destroyed, right? We talk about the white supremacists, the Europeans. I mean, at the time when we fought and won our independence, it was from France, Napoleon, and these guys were all big Illuminati people, and they were successful at having Haitian folks kill this island. I know people don't want to, people always say the white man, the white man. Yeah, the white man was probably behind the scenes saying do this, do that, put the thought in your mind. You know what I mean? They were playing the role of Samael, like in the Garden of Eden. But we were the ones that still assassinated the emperor. So, October 17, this is about, let me see, 1806 to 2025. So 219, is that correct? Or is it 218? You guys do the math. Let me see. Boom, boom, boom. I'm looking at this. It says 219. Okay. So 219 years. Now, where have, I don't know, like from the day that we assassinated Emperor Jean-Jacques Dessalines, like what direction, has the country gone? Like today, the gangs, they keep on recruiting the little kids, so it's crazy. I like looking at videos of people that are probably living in Haiti, but they're somewhere else. I like looking at those videos. They're nice. You know what I'm saying? The person might be on a yacht somewhere, or maybe they're in front of a nice big house, and you know what I'm saying? They're showing you the nice things, which is cool. But I always say, do we really believe that if the problem in Port-au-Prince, all these gangs left and right, like if it just starts spreading, like for real, does everyone think that they can just no? I mean, people, You see, let's say other places in the country like Jacmel, Cap Haitian, they started to get crazy, just like Port-au-Prince. The people who can afford to run, they just gonna run. That's it. You know, Charlatan. I could never pronounce this guy's last name. How you guys say that? Macadieu? Huh? Charlatan Macadieu. Let me see. It's Charlatan. If that's how they really pronounce the name, right? He was not black. They say some people say he was mulatto. Some people say when you Google, it'll say like he was a mixed person or he was straight from Europe probably. And I've heard that he was there when the emperor, because I have to explain to you guys how they killed Dessalines first. Like Dessalines, they say he, you know, first of all, he was the emperor. You know what I'm saying? So he had like, before he proclaimed himself or claimed himself as emperor, they had to have a sit down first. Meaning there was one time where all of the leaders, the military leaders, they all agreed. You understand? There's a little buzzing. Can you hear me now? Yeah. They all had agreed. They all had agreed that okay, this Dessalines is going to be, the one in power, and they first, they agreed with this whole situation with the empire. But then, of course, Pitron, right? His side, they really was like, you know what, man, we all could be emperors. You know what I'm saying? That's how it started. And when we talk about Europe's involvement, like France, they just made sure that um, it's like they gave a certain group, a certain class in the country assurance, like, hey, you get rid of this alien, and then you guys could, renegotiate, and you guys can keep the land, okay? Because you already see countries like Haiti, if you are a president and then you think you're going to start to like maybe you believe you're going to start to attack certain groups and all this, they get rid of you. You know what I'm saying? One thing I noticed was Jovenel. Like if Jovenel was killed, you see how they killed him. If he was killed during Dessalines' time, because they said after they killed Dessalines, it was maybe 50 years, 60 years. I don't know. Right now, I'm just talking. I didn't really do that much of a research, so you guys can Google while I'm talking shit. But Dessalines, they didn't say his name for years. It was like that shit was like almost against the law. You know what I mean? Um, from Dessalines all the way to maybe like the dictatorship regime with Francois Duvalier. I think that was probably that time span where only a certain group controlled Haiti for the most part. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just asking. They murdered the man, and what changes have anyone? Has anyone seen any changes? I don't know. Okay, now put this down. I want to talk about how Dessalines was murdered. Like, do you know? Like, for a while, I always thought Dessalines was born October 17th. This is before the internet phase. Even when I was younger, I thought that was his birthday because sometimes this is back in the days. It's like they were celebrating that day. You know what I'm saying? You can't be celebrating someone getting butchered. You know what I mean? I mean they poisoned Dessalines. They always say that maybe he was at one of these other generals like Pétion and all of this. He was somewhere where they were at, but they said that he was poisoned, and then once he felt, like something was wrong, he basically left from where he was at, and like I said, that one dude, Charlotte, he was with him because Dessalines was such a strong leader at the time. He had different kinds of like soldiers with him. You can say bodyguards or whatever. He had all different kinds of people and races with him. Like he had actual white, mulatto, you know, allies and that were subordinate. Like they would die for him. So Dessalines was definitely something different. You know what I mean? Okay. So when you guys Google Charlotte Macadieu, Marcadieu, he was a colonel in the army. He was a colonel in the army, and he basically was with Dessalines when they were trying to escape. You know what I'm saying? He got killed as well. Okay. So and then you have after he was killed. Okay, they basically like did some kind of spiritual hoodoo voodoo stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because they like removed, they chopped him up basically. Like with Jovenel again, if he had died during the times of Emperor Dessalines, it just would have happened, and then they would have took power, and then they just take it for a long time. You know what I mean? But Jovenel, he's been dead now. Um, what are we going on now? Like 3 years? I think I heard like 50 months. They kept on talking about the months. But ever since Jovenel's assassination, um, we still see people, they're going to get arrested, right? And they got some of them already. They got some people already, right? Like the financier, people that put the money down and all that. They have some, but I'm pretty sure there's a lot more in the country, and they're gonna have to get them too. This woman right here, you see, Basile, she was the woman that basically like. Um, Now this is all. Would I say this is history? This is mythology too, because all the things that you might hear from a lot of the historians in Haiti, it's like they're reading from what other historians say. So with the mythology, with the way it's, they say she's the one that recovered all of this Saline like body parts. This is the mythology, and kind of like maybe gave him a proper, you know what I'm saying? Like he just didn't stay laid out in the streets with dogs, feeding on him. It was nothing like that. So, um it's like she was successful at keeping this whole name ideology, Jean-Jacques Dessalines, like people keep on talking about it now. And as you talk, you are invoking, you know what I'm saying? Invocation. It's one of those things. So 219 years, if Jovenel Moise, right? If the president, if he gets justice from his assassination, I believe it's like Dessalines getting some kind of justice or some shit. You know, that's what I think. Yeah, that's what I think. Jovenel kept on saying like he's the last one, he's the last one. Whatever happens, it's like he knows they was gonna pop him, so he's like, hey, whatever happens, I'm the last one, and we're gonna destroy this system. You know what I'm saying? This freaking apartheid, racist bullshit that the country has. You know, where one group think they are better, more intelligent, more this, that, more privileged than the other group. Anyway, IT Organic, IT Organic, IT Organic, IT Organic 1804. This is the IT Organic experience. Yeah. So do it like that. Shouts out to the indigenous Taino people. I will